Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino. And today I have a special guest today, Michael Schaefer, joining me. Amanda is doing a business for work, so she's a little busy. And Michael is the host of Survivor Animation. He's joined us a few times in the draft. And it's kind of poetic justice that you join me tonight. That your final draft pick. And 4 episodes, 3 picks have been gone just like that.
It was a rough night.
Clearly to say you did not have the draft that you wanted. That's for sure. But what did you think of that episode as a whole and the season as a whole?
Well, compared to last week's episode, I'm happy this one wasn't just saturated with advantages. Like last week, we spent the first half of the episode just on advantages. This week, it was like nothing besides JD getting his advantage back, and then for some godforsaken reason, giving it back to Shan. And she's like, wait, I could actually vote you out with this in my pocket.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. I still can't believe that she just didn't vote JD out last round.
She should have.
She should have,
Absolutely
because
should have.
Brad fully trusted her with 2 advantages,
And he can't vote.
he's a big, and he can't vote, and he's a big guy. He'll always go home before her. So, like, to me, it just made all the sense in the world to keep somebody that loyal to you, that big of a physical threat that stands out. He can't shrink. He's a tall, giant man. He will always stand out. And he fully trusted you and got rid of him. And you would have had potentially 3 advantages on your side. Now you just have the one.
And also, what was she thinking if she didn't vote JD out when she gave him the advantage back? Like, because she gets back to him like, you could have been totally screwed. He could have went with Jeannie, used the extra vote, boom, you're gone.
Yeah, JD played this horribly.
He's played everything this season horribly.
Yeah, he definitely misplayed a lot, especially this round. But we'll start at the beginning, like you said. JD confronted Shane about getting his advantage back, and
first I was gonna say, let's start with Jeannie.
Yeah, Jeannie was pissed and was like, "I'm not cooking for you guys anymore. I'm just gonna cook for myself, take care of myself. You guys can take care of yourself." How do you think? Do you think that was a smart play by her?
No, that's a terrible play. You don't go back to camp and throw a fucking tantrum.
It does, though. Is like one of the greatest plays I've seen. No, it was terrible play, but she was upset. Brad was her number one.
Oh, of course she's upset, but like you gotta try to control yourself. You can't let it just all out when you get back to camp. Like that, you're not putting yourself in a good spot. Like because she very easily could have went home tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, the whole Brad move was a terrible move, anyways, because like you said, like Jeannie's now pissed because she was blindsided. Taking out JD there, nobody's blindsided but JD. So
who's out of the game and it doesn't fucking matter.
Who does out of the game and it doesn't matter.
The extra vote in her pocket.
And so so Jeannie was upset, and the Ricard was like, "You want to talk?" And she said, "No, I don't want to talk to you." And just
so funny.
Ricard's like, "You voted for me," and then JD's like, "Yeah, you voted for me," which is fair points. But man, yeah, it was. We get JD getting his advantage back. I'm kind of shocked. She's like, "Oh yeah, here, take it. So good. Just give it." Yeah.
Well, I think. Well, she was in the middle of getting completely called out.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, we missed the part where Shan literally told everybody about Brad's advantages, which nobody else knew about.
And she had just raked over the coals for JD last week about keeping his secret advantage to himself, which he should have. And she got all mad at him when she's keeping a bunch of secrets from him, and he gets pissed.
Yeah, he says something that should have been the first red flag in JD's eyes, that he was at the bottom. Like
this is what he said.
His hit.
Oh, of course it should have been. But oh god, I love JD. He's such a good character, but oh man, he could be such a better player. He literally says at the beginning of the episode, "Fool me once, shame on me. You're not fooling me twice." Well, you got screwed twice. You got fooled more times tonight.
Yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it worked. I thought it was for sure it was gonna blow her up in her face, but yeah, that Shan is a really good player, but she makes little mistakes where she could be a really good player to a great player. if she avoided those little mistakes that she's kind of making here and there.
But she's also playing with players who are not up to like the good standard. Like, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Jeannie, JD, like they're not as good as players as her. Whereas if they were, these mistakes she'd be making, she would have paid for them already.
Oh, for sure. Like if JD was the player that we all kind of thought he was going to be, he could have flipped the script this round. He could have took the information and sat Jeannie down and apologized to her about Brad. But look, they're gonna pick us off. Those two are a pair, which Jeannie did later in the episode to JD, and he just like threw it to the side. He's like, I'm not even gonna listen to her. So if he was the one that initiated that conversation with Jeannie and said, "Hey, we need to do something. I have this extra vote. They cannot do anything. Let's vote out whoever you want." And then you give her the power. And if you want and vote however you want to vote, and vote out Ricard, who clearly you can't really trust fully.
I think either one of Shannon or Ricard going home would have been a benefit for JD. Because if I was actually, as soon as they lost the challenge, I was kind of thinking that like, is JD going to make a move right now? Because like he has this extra vote. Jeannie's clearly on the bottom with nowhere to go. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, please make a move. And as soon as he runs back to Ricard and tells him, I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah, he had every chance to take control of the game and the tribe itself, and he just let Shannon have it. He's like, here, have it. You be the Don boss. I do love
And he
her
gives her
theme
the
music.
advantage back. What the fuck?
Right. And he even said, I don't want to be that person that doesn't bring his advantage and be an idiot. And then, of course,
You're
yeah,
worse. You're giving it away.
to the person that voted you out. Oh my God. Yeah. I love her little themes music though.
Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, it's so annoying. I can't take
I
it.
love that Survivor plays a little jingle with it.
Oh God.
I like you said, if she was on par, she had
If she
some of
was
the
playing with players that
players.
were on par with her, she would have been done.
She would have been
Because
done. She made a
mistakes are
little
too
too many
glaring.
mistakes. Right. Voting out Brad there was a mistake because you blindside Genie. And then bring out Brad's advantages in front of everybody after you just raid
Especially
JD.
JD.
JD, if JD was a more comparable player, he could have went to Genie and made something happen because 3 votes is enough on a 4-person tribe.
Yep.
So it just she's making little mistakes that may not cost her now, but
That'll
it makes
cost
me
her later.
worry
She doesn't
about
fix
her
it.
winning equity getting down to the end where ideally we get the best players towards the end game.
Like if she's making these mistakes around Evie, it's not gonna.
No, no. Evie will sneak it out. And I think Deshaun will too.
I think Danny's a little underrated too. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So
We'll get
and
to the mess
we'll
that's
get
Lulu
to
as well.
yeah, but there's a few people that I feel like could suss her out if she makes some of those mistakes in front of them.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, we get 2 challenges this episode. I feel like the one challenge per episode was way better.
Well, of course,
Give
you get
us
more strategizing camp time. Like, I
mm,
feel like what Survivor should do with the reward challenge, unless it like directly impacts the episode, they should make like a secret scene on the website. Where it's
yes,
like, here, if you want to watch the reward challenge, here it is. We'll let you see it, but we're not putting it in the episode. We'd rather have more strategy camp talk.
right. And you could do that. Like here, this is the reward challenge. And that whole segment they had for the reward challenge, it was like what 20 minutes, it felt like.
It was a long time.
And it was a long time with them competing in the challenge and them getting the reward. If they put that in a secret scene, I'd watch that secret scene. Like you can have like a 30-minute extra episode on Paramount Plus. Just do it. You have the content. I know you do. Don't make 5-minute clips. I don't know. Make another 30-minute episode to it. Here's the extended version. Here's what you missed. Or anything like that. You can do those sort of things and people will watch it. And if you advertise it at the end of the episode, if you want to see the extended version of the episode where things we couldn't show you tonight, check out Paramount Plus.
I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
It's just that simple. They have the content. We know they have the content. So,
But like, I feel like they just totally used that whole thing because like the reward was cool. Like just watching the Iwa tribe just trying to. Oh God, I'm totally misspeaking now. Like
no,
them taking it in and then saying like, "Oh, we don't need Genie." I'm like, okay,
yeah.
but like, what good is this doing the actual game? Like, what is actually happening that impacts what's going to happen tonight? And the answer was nothing.
Nothing. It amounted to nothing. It was them learning how to fish. It was cool to see that dude like climb the tree and see him catch the fish he was catching were massive for
Oh, it was
one.
totally cool to see, but it's like you only have 40 minutes for an episode. Like I don't want to spend 20 minutes watching a dude climb a tree. No, sorry.
It was a bare minimum of 15 minutes screen time. The challenge was long. We so
Them coddling Heather after she totally
yeah.
tanked it.
Yeah, Ua won the reward, and Yasa won
Second,
the second place, which was a fish,
the one
which was
fish.
also massive, especially for four people. That's a
Mm-hmm.
really good amount of meat out there for them. So Heather couldn't do the first stage of the challenge where you had to throw a ball up and it rolled through, and then you had to run through like a little maze and catch it on the other side. She was throwing it way too hard. You could
She
see
couldn't
in
even get it on the
Sydney's
track.
yeah, you can see in Sydney's face she was over it. Everybody else was encouraging her. You see Sydney just pissed.
Oh, Sydney. God.
So it
She's someone
was
else. We'll get to Sydney.
yeah. So it was we had a nice little touching moment at the end where all of them were like, "Don't you worry." Well, I don't even think Sydney said anything
It
to
was
her,
mostly Danny, but it was
Danny.
all of them.
Yeah, well, because he played football, so
Mm-hmm.
team sport. He wants as long as his teammates are trying and doing their
That's
best,
all he
and
cares
you see
about.
the effort. That's all he cares because he doesn't want someone to quit on him. So to everybody else,
Little ironic considering what
yeah,
he tries to do later.
yeah. He does. Deshaun does it so obvious too, so
Oh God, he's
obvious.
the worst.
So, but yeah, we get the little moment. Heather's crying. It's like, I can do this. I already came out here being the older woman. Yada yada yada. So we've seen it before. It's the same story. The older woman struggled during the challenge. She couldn't do it. People picked her up. That was about the reward challenge. Um, the other two tribes just dominated because Heather couldn't get past that part. Then we get to, like you can see them benefiting from the reward, which also lasted like a few like a whole segment. And like you said, it said Ricard's like, no, we don't even need Genie now because he's showing us how to do anything, which ultimately amounted to nothing
Because
because
Genie
it
doesn't
did.
even go home.
Yeah, and we get to I do like that we finally got some content from Luvu because the last couple of episodes they've been MIA besides the challenges.
Well, that's what happens when you go on a winning streak. Like, no, if nothing's gonna happen with you, like you're not gonna get any screen time.
Right, and we get to see Erica trying to strategize, and she tries to make a plan to take out Sydney because she's too emotional. She cried because she couldn't make the fire, and Erica was talking to Sean's like, we need to get rid of her. She's a threat and she's emotional. She's gonna cost us down the road. And instead, Deshaun being like, "Yeah, I'm with you." Da da da. He goes right to
Immediately runs back to Sydney.
Sydney and tells her. And Sydney was like, literally, was like, he's like, "Guess who said your name?" Deshaun told Sydney. And Sydney was like, "Oh, it has to be Heather." No, it's not Heather.
See
Danny?
her?
No. She's like, Erica? No way. She was the last person that she thought was gonna say her name. But it was cool to see Erica because I think it was like the first
I think
time
it
we
was the
really got
first
to
time
see
she got
her.
any exactly first little bit of like extended screen time, and of course it's not coming off very well for her because everyone wants her out. But
I see. I think it's hard to know what Heather's thinking because we don't get to see nothing from her, and Nasir doesn't get much either. I know he doesn't trust the guys, so like it'd be interesting dynamic if Erica, Nasir, and Heather kind of locked in together. But I
they'd still
don't
have to pull
know.
someone over because I don't think they'd. I think Deshaun, Sydney, and Danny are a tight three.
I believe so too. And if they don't realize that, they're gonna be in trouble. I think they sealed it when Sydney told them about Nasir telling them that they're looking for Idol.
Mm-hmm.
I think ever since then they've been tight. We haven't really got to see it because we haven't got to see a lot of camp life for them.
Because it's been a lot of ooh on Yasa.
Mm-hmm. We didn't get a lot of Yasa this episode.
I think it was
That
like one little segment about like a baby turtle trying to get back in the ocean, but that was about it.
oh,
Which
you know
like
what? Go ahead.
I mean I'm totally fine with that because we've seen so much of them for
Mm-hmm.
the first few episodes. It's nice that they can get a little break. Like they won both challenges, good for them. Who cares?
Yeah, you know what I thought of when I seen those baby turtles of
What?
Sandra and that baby goat. I was like, Sandra would want to cook these little turtles up, make a little turtle
Oh
stew.
my
You remember it was Game Changers, I
It was,
believe.
yeah, it was game changers. They caught the baby goat, saw the mother was there, and none of them wanted to kill it. And she was like, "I'll kill it." I mean, it's
I'll
like
kill it. I don't care. I'm
Malcolm,
hungry.
JT, and they all let it go.
That's all I thought about. I was like, Sandra's there. She's picking those little turtles up.
Oh God. Worst part is you're not wrong either.
I was like sitting there. I was like, oh God, if it's Sarah there, she picking them up like little popcorns and put them in a little bag. But yeah, it was cool. Like you said, it was fine not to see them because we've seen so much of them. Which I feel like if they go to tribal, Xander's gone,
Oh, 100%.
unless unless they get sick of Tiffany. Which I don't necessarily agree with getting rid of Xander because if you show up all women strong, you're gonna alienate the guys.
Well, the guys, what the first, I think four, everyone but Sarah, who's went home, I think's been a guy.
That's true.
So like they can show all the girls the type the guys I can trust, and the guys are outnumbered. So I'm,
That's
I'm
true.
assuming they're merging at 12. Like someone's going home next week and they're merging.
Yeah, I for sure thought there was a chance they were gonna do a double and then merge like super fast. But
Well, it's
even
only
then,
day
it's
9.
yeah, it's only day 9. But think about it. There's what 26 days, so they're a little over a
If you
third.
add 13 days to everything, like, so it would be day 9. It would be basically day. Ah, shit. My math's off.
That would be 22.
Yeah, day 22, which is about merge
Mm-hmm.
or after merge.
Yeah, so I could see, like you said, I think next episode what they're at, there's 7,
There's 13 left.
13 left. Yeah, they're if they're not merging next episode, they're merging at 12
I
for
don't think
sure.
they're merging next episode. I
Yeah,
think
they're
someone's
not.
going home. It'll be a merge at 12.
Mm-hmm. Will it work out? But I don't think they'll do 12.
Could,
If they do
could
12,
be a double next week and a merge at 11.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking. Because if it's a final 2 or 3, it's gonna be a tie at 12.
I don't think they would hate a jury of 9 in a final 3.
I don't. I think.
They haven't done it since One World, but
But the thing is, if it could potentially be a 3-way tie, and what do you
true.
do there? I don't think they want to have that happen. I don't.
So
The unlikelihood of that actually happening is high. But what if it is Ricard and Shani and Danny,
heavy.
Evie? What if it's like something like that where it's like a stack? Is like I could see them getting a couple votes, and then it's 3-3-3, and then you're like, what's the tiebreaker? I don't want to see Fire for a win. That would like just
Well,
make me
I've seen
throw
that
up.
once before, like a 3-way tie in an org, well, obviously an org,
Yeah.
and they had the 3 finalists vote for one of them, and that they broke it that way. But even like that's
Interesting.
not even foolproof because they all pick 1-1-1. Then what the
One.
fuck do you do?
What do you do? I don't want to see a Fire to decide the Survivor winner. I don't, because I could see them doing something stupid like that.
I think it would be Fire.
Yeah, and I would hate it because what it like, you know, yeah, Nasir's there, and he doesn't deserve to win. He's winning that Fire challenge, so he wins the game with Fire. It'd be like Ben all over again. I wouldn't even kind of handle the backlash. Um, but yeah, I think maybe a double, and then they merge at 11
I can
and
see
do a
that.
final 3, or they can do final 2. They want
I
to.
wonder what they would do.
I
I'm
don't
assuming
know.
since it's short on days, it would be a final 3.
Yeah. So there's what? There's 15 days left? No, no, wait, no, I
No, there's
lied.
17 days left.
7 days, 17 days left, and there's 13 people left. So they gotta do a couple doubles. They gotta at least do one more double,
I could
right?
see them at like some point just doing like a tribal every day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do it orc style.
Yeah, I could see a IOI situation where they do the 2 tribes.
I can see that happening too. Well, they did that on Ghost Island also.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they did it on Ghost Island first.
I watched Ghost Island, like, and I kind of like gave up halfway through, and I kind of was like in and out. I'll be honest with you. I caught the end of the merge, and but I rewatched it one time, and I was just like, I just can't get into it, so kind of wiped it away. I just remember being upset because Dom lost.
It was Ghost Island was so weird because like I liked the pre merge, And then once merge, it was just a fucking Dom Wendell show. I couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they ran it, and like it was a good finale, but still,
Yeah,
it was
still.
so predictable.
So right after all the Erica stuff, we get to Deshaun and Danny talking about throwing the challenge to get rid of Erica. Deshaun wants to get rid of Erica now. She's gonna be a threat later on.
And he wants to
Yada
throw the
yada.
challenge.
Yeah. So they talk about it. We get right. It goes cuts to a commercial break. We come back from break. It's the challenge, and they have to they have to dive in and untie some blocks at three different stations and get to the beach, slide the puzzle pieces through to pull out all these blocks, and there's a key in one of them. You have to get a key, unlock the rings, and then toss the rings. All right, so we're at the challenge, and we see them untying these knots, and Danny and Deshaun have confessionals throughout the whole challenge, multiple confessionals saying they're going to throw the challenge. They don't want to win, and you see them. Deshaun's really going for it.
Yeah, no,
Danny's kind of
Danny's just going slow, but he's not actively hurting his team, unlike Deshaun.
no. Danny's up there front, but I don't think he could do it. So not being obvious, Danny couldn't.
You know, Deshaun had no issue doing it.
Yeah, he had no issue. He's walking in the water, struggling to pull these pieces out of the water,
Untying the knots, and then retying the
retying the
knots.
knots. My favorite part of the whole challenge was when the Evie was in the water trying to drag the
Swimming the
puzzle
wrong
pieces. She
way.
was running the wrong way, and Jeff was like, "Oh, I appreciate the effort."
I think he said like, "Oh, A for effort, but B minus on the direction."
Yeah. They're like Abby. They're trying to tug her. Oh man, that made me laugh so
So
hard when it
funny.
happened. It's so funny. And but yeah, Deshaun's trying to throw it throughout. He's tying these puzzle pieces, but it didn't matter. Erica and Nasir were all about it. They were going gung ho for this challenge. And why did nobody else look at them the way Danny and Nasir did the sliding the pieces through? Everybody else did it
Oh, you mean having
individual.
to? Yeah. Oh shit. No, when they're trying to slide the logs through.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the
Nobody
fuck?
else
They're
did.
all like, they have Jeannie just trying to do it by herself, then Xander
Yeah.
trying to do it by herself. To be fair to Yasa, they only have Xander as guys
Yeah.
trying to do it. But like, why is Jeannie pushing it? How come Ricard and JD aren't doing it?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Luvu put their probably two strongest guys doing it.
Right. And
And
then
like, let's be honest, Nazir probably could have did it by himself.
yeah, he's a big guy. So when I watched his interview, all I seen was his face, and I didn't look at his picture. I watched a bunch of interviews. I'm like, this dude looks chunky. He's not going to be very good. And I see him. I'm like, this dude is jacked. He was, and Danny even said he's like Nasir would probably just do it by himself. He could probably just
He
do it
kind of
himself.
was because Danny was like,
Yeah.
I'm not really putting much effort, but Nazir is being Superman right now.
He's like, wow. And they cut through, and Deshaun was looking for the brick that had the key in it. He wanted
get
to
rid of the
throw it,
key.
and of course he's like, I'm looking for it in the air because like I got it.
So hold on, what was his plan when he says throw it away? Like just take the log and just chuck it into the fucking ocean. Like what was his plan of throwing it away without being noticed that they're throwing the challenge? Because they
I don't
would
know.
have
This
his
tosses
ass
it
out.
behind you or something. I don't know. I
But
could.
I would have taken tried to sneak the key out, put it in my pocket, and be like, "Where is it?"
I
And
would have
look
just
at
tossed it behind
Jeff.
me.
There's no key.
I would just tossed it behind me. But yeah, Erica finds it. It's kind of poetic justice that they're trying to throw it to get rid of her. She has no idea, and she still saves herself. And we get to the ring toss, and Ua, they all get to ring toss around the same time. Well, Deshaun goes first, and he's like granny styling it, like so obviously not trying. And nobody calls him out. I'm so surprised no one
Well, you
said
have
anything.
Nasir standing there, just like bugging him to try to get a chance.
Yeah, I don't understand how Nasir didn't be like, what's he doing? Like I've seen this dude run around and be super kind of athletic, but now he's granny styling these rings. Like what? And he's like short arming him. Like I would have picked up on that. I would be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Like
But
I would have tried to hit the post and just like keep like
yeah,
missing, like because if you're just being like or like completely overthrowing it, like all right, you're not fucking trying that hard. If you keep
right,
doing it after so many tries, like
right,
here's my thing: just keep trying to hit the middle of these two posts. Just go boing, 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 boing,
yeah,
and if you're not getting like, because at least you look like you're trying,
yeah, or hit the tip of it so it bounces off. Something.
or just make one.
Just make one so it looks like you're trying.
Just because you make one or two, you need to hit three.
Right. And just I don't know. It was awful. That way Nasir would have been on your back, and he
Instead,
was
Nasir
just
just
doing so
flies up.
obvious. Yeah.
Shawn Nasir's like, all right, I'm trying. Takes the ring, boom, hits one, boom, hits another.
Yeah. Uh
I honestly
so
thought he was gonna hit all three in a row.
yeah. Yasa was doing pretty good. They ended up being the first tribe to win, and it came down to JD and Nasir. And JD, it was
Oh
so
shit,
arrogant and cocky. He's like, "Ooh,
money.
money," and he kisses and he
Boing.
boing. Uh, oh man, Survivors is setting him up left and right because they just played this music and it's like depressing music after he missed. And this Seer hits it like right afterwards too. So,
Well, you knew once JD missed, Nasir was hitting it.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and if like I said earlier, back when we were talking, Brad probably would have won that. Him being so
100%.
tall, he could have just leaned over and got halfway there.
Because like he's a tall dude and his arms are so fucking long. Like just go,
Right.
whoop, whoop. There's no
Yeah,
effort.
I think he would have crushed this challenge, which would have saved everybody on the
Well,
alliance, kept their whole tribe safe. But that didn't happen. So Ua's going to tribal
again.
again, and Jeannie goes and talks to JD and is like, "Hey man, it's those two are rock solid. I'm gonna use my shot in the dark. Vote Ricard." And he's like, "No, he goes in confessional. I'm gonna try to convince her on her side so she doesn't use the shot in the dark, and that way nothing happens where I go home." JD, if you know there's a chance of you going
Vote with
home,
her.
vote with her. You have the advantage. You even said if she is safe, I'm going home. So why don't you vote with her? You have the numbers with her vote and your extra vote, bro.
Because if you tell her like Jeannie, I will use my extra vote. I will use both of my votes. Whichever one of the two of them you want to vote. If you
Mm,
want to vote Ricard, I'll put both my votes on Ricard. You don't use your shot in the dark. You vote Ricard. 3-2. He's gone.
yeah. It's that simple. He literally knows his position in the tribe
Because they don't have to
and
worry about
still
any fucking
doesn't do
items because
anything.
Brad went home with it.
Right. Right. Which which was thrown out right after tribal. So he's aware that the idol's gone. Aware. It's just so mind boggling. And then he goes and tells Ricard she wants me to vote you. Da 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 da. And it was just rough to see him like just play this whole terribly. Oops. But yeah, it's yeah, and her asking for the the advantage was
That right there, I would have told her, "You're not getting this advantage." I would
yeah.
have right to Jeannie, so we're
There's
voting
no
Shan out tonight.
way.
No
There's
shot was she getting that advantage.
no way. I I couldn't believe Chantel got that. I couldn't believe it.
I
She
was like,
literally
"What are you thinking?"
she goes sits down with Ricard and said, "I'm gonna go try to get
It
his
was
extra
very,
vote."
it was very Micronesia with Eric's immunity necklace.
Yeah,
Like, this was probably won't work. I'm just gonna go take a shot in the dark. She goes down, just says whatever she needs to, and then she fucking gets it.
yeah.
Like,
She
what are
flats
you
out
thinking?
tells
This is
him,
the one thing you have in this game. You have
yeah,
no power. Clearly, when Genie goes home, you're next because there's
yeah,
a tight duo, and this is the one little shred of power you have, and you're just gonna give it to her.
yeah. And she flats out said, "I feel like you're going to vote with Jeannie and vote one of us out." So
He should have just told her, "Yeah, I'm voting with Genie." Oh my god, there's so many things he could have did, and he just went like, he just played very, oh god,
terrible. He played terrible. This
awful.
whole This whole episode was nothing but terrible moves by JD and Chantel, but JD was playing worse. This was a boss move by Chantel though. She flat said, "Give it to me. I'll give it back to you in the morning, like I did last time. Nothing to worry about."
Blows his
Just
ass out.
and just voted his ass out. It's just
Do you
like
know how dumb she would have been if JD didn't go home? If they still voted Jeannie out?
been awful. And Jeannie knew about it. She didn't even use her shot in the dark. She saved it for a time later, and she voted with Ricard and Chantel. We tribal was long. I felt like these episodes were broken up to three segments really: the reward challenge, the immunity challenge, and tribal.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was kind of like 2 minute segment here, 2 minute segment here. Um, but yeah, they talk about what playing Survivor means. Even JD said, "I'm playing a game that I didn't envision myself playing this way. I envisioned myself playing much better or something like that." And it's just like, bro, like you just,
Bro,
oh,
you could have played so much better.
it's all in front of your face, all in front of your
Oh
face.
my god, because he was my first pick too when we
Yeah,
did the draft. I had
mm,
such high hopes for this dude, and he just totally let me down.
yeah, yeah. And like, so I lost David so far. I thought I was for sure losing Genie. Um, but I have Genie and Ricard left. So
I lost two picks on opening night.
I'll open, and you had a chance to get Genie, and you didn't. You took
I took Abraham.
Abraham. Yeah.
He goes, and then the other guy goes, "Travel. Oh, it's gonna be JD or Sarah." And I'm like, "Oh Lord."
One of your other thing.
I was like, outside chance Brad goes home, and then it was Sarah, and I'm like, "Shit."
Yeah, but yeah, it was. I feel like these episodes just they need more time. Survivor's packing so much into this time that I
But
just
like
wish.
we've been saying that for a while. Like Winners at War easily should have been 90-minute episodes
Yeah, if
every
not two
single week.
hours, I could watch that 2 hours
I would have
episodes.
watched 2 hours every single week of that
Yeah,
season.
and
But
you know
like,
what? Why don't you just like use the Paramount? Why aren't they using Paramount Plus better? They're doing like little snippet scenes here or there, but you put
make extended
extended.
episodes.
Yeah, put 2 hour episode on Paramount Plus, and then we get to see like an episode for 90 minutes with no commercials. Like they could easily do that. I
I
just
don't know why they're not.
I just don't know why they're not either. You can get more subscribers to Paramount Plus, and you can please your fans. It seems like a win-win for me.
Because we're clearly missing shit. Like I never don't remember them fully getting Jeannie on board and her not using her shot in the dark.
Nope, we never see a
Did you
conversation at
see?
all.
Well, no, there was one where Chantel was telling her, "Oh, we're gonna vote JD," but that was before she was even planning on getting JD out.
Right,
Her plan was to still get Jeannie, and then she gets JD stupidly gives her the advantage back.
right. So we didn't get to see any of that or Jeannie's thought process of should I trust him or should I do my shot in the dark?
Yeah, last you heard from Jeannie, she was playing her shot in the dark and banking on JD to vote her card.
So it just and then JD's walking out as any particular reason why. Easy, because you gave me your vantage fool. That's why I almost want to say to him. It's just, man, we're
It's
missing
tough.
so much.
It's also tough watching people that you know could be playing so much better, and they're just not.
And it's worse because they're literally in their confessionals saying, I could do this, but I'm not going to.
That's right there. If you said I can make this move, but I'm not going to, you. Oh my god. Has there
hmm
ever been a move that you in a game that you've played that you've chosen not to make?
Um,
Or if you think like, oh, this move can help me, and you just do it.
oh, if it could help me, I'm making it. I've made moves just to make moves sometimes.
But like he clearly like these moves would help him, no
Yeah.
doubt. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay lost. Why?
Why? Dude, I have never. That's my biggest issue when I play orgs is that if I see a move, I just almost want to do it. And I just can't help myself. And sometimes it's better just to sit back. But I'm like, no, what? No, fuck that.
But there's a difference between sitting back and not making a move just for making a move.
Yeah.
Like he, I don't want. I want to know what his thought process was on this. Like, because he knows Chantel and Ricardo are a tight duo.
Hmm.
If he goes with them and votes Genie out, what the fuck you doing?
Right.
If you guys lose again, you're clearly going home.
Right. And if you have an extra vote, that may not even work on the revote.
No,
You
because he'll
so
be tied. So I don't think it matters for shit.
so like why don't you try to make your move now instead of trying to put yourself in a losing position?
I'll tell you right now. If he talked, like you said, if he talked to Genie right after they lose the challenge, smooth it over. Let Genie pick which one of Chantel or Ricard they want. She wants to vote out.
Mhm.
Vote them out. Use the extra vote. Dude, you're
Mhm.
golden.
Right.
You have Genie in your back pocket. Whichever one of them stays is going to be begging for mercy.
Right. And you know what? If it don't work out, you still have that shot in the dark to fall back on.
Exactly.
So I think I would play like more reckless if I had a chance to save myself just in case the move didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd like play with less uh with more risk and like less sit back
He
and
played way
hopefully
too passive,
way too passive. I don't want to play passive.
especially for someone who's such a huge fan of the game. Like every week, he keeps saying like, "Oh, I want to. My dream was to come out here and play the game," and you're just actively not even making moves to not help you. He's not making moves at all.
Mhm.
Like there are clearly things to be done, and he's just not doing them. He's sitting back and being like, "I'm good."
Right. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting because he literally knows it's the better move, but he just doesn't do it. It's just, bro, just do it. Just do it. Like and like you have the advantage. Now you just wasted your who's in the game that still has the advantage? I get Xander does still,
Oh, well,
but he can't use it because
yeah,
he
because
has no
Brad's
vote.
out.
Yeah, Brad's out. And
Uh,
Deshaun does.
right, he has an extra vote.
You have a steal a vote?
No, that was Brad. He went home with it.
Sorry, I keep forgetting all this stuff. It's been crazy. With these advantages changing hands left and right. I'm glad we didn't get a summit this episode. I don't
I'm
think.
not a huge fan of the summit. I'm really not.
Yeah, I think if they did it, they did it too many times in a row. 3 weeks in a row is a little too much.
Like I thought the first episode was cool, and then they do it again, and then they do it again. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I don't need this.
It hasn't amounted to anything because the people who've had it got voted out.
What was the first? It was what Danny. I think it was Danny, Xander, and JD. The first episode.
Yeah,
Danny got nothing. JD's out, and Xander can't use his advantage.
because he has no
The,
vote.
the second one was I think Deshaun and Evie. Evie got nothing, and Deshaun hasn't been to tribal.
Yeah, I
And then it
hate,
was
I hate, I hate that Sander can't vote. Like this idol thing is, I just don't like it.
I don't like it either, but in to be fair, it did say beware. You should put beware, and you have to do what this says. Like, there's clearly going to be a catch. Now, I
But
think it's
like
I
the
think it's a little too much. Like,
it's a little too much because like you not one person, you have to rely on two people finding this advantage.
if it was just you can't vote at your next tribal council unless the others are found, then fine.
That's
Like
fine.
that I can take. But like, if they went on a losing streak and like he can't vote until he's relying on two other people, like, come on.
Right. And then Brad found it, but now he's gone. So what's he supposed to
Does
do?
does it get rehidden? I guess.
Yeah,
Or
does
technically, since he was found, he's good.
right. Does he
And but like, no one on Luvu's finding anything.
right. Does he get his vote back? Like there's all these questions we don't have answers to.
Well, I know once they merge, he gets his vote back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Okay.
said until all the idols are found or until merge.
Okay. I missed that part.
But I wonder, like, if does he get to merge? Is the idol valid or no?
I don't know. Then you just send him without a vote for a long time.
Because that would be worse. Like if the idols was never found, he just can't vote the rest of the game. Like that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Thank God that's not how they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I just feel like this is what they should do. Idol on each beach and then one merge idol. Call it good. Don't rehit any idols. That's what
Honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't rehide any idols unless they're all out of the game.
mm-hmm.
Like if you have the three beach idols and a merge idol, and like they're all gone like by like final 9, I'd rehide an idol, but one.
That's okay. I can see that, but too many times or how many seasons in a row have we seen? Oh, I played Idol. Now the next episode, I'm looking for the Idol because I just played it
Every season.
every season for like a long time, and I'm sick of that. Idols should be played strategically, not relied on. They
Ben.
shouldn't. Ben, yeah. So they shouldn't be relied on where you could just find them. Devins did it. Ben did it. So, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hate for this season. I just want people to just
I don't
like
get it.
chill. Just chill. It's not that bad of a season. Is it all time great? Absolutely not. But we haven't even hit merge yet.
To me, it's like falling in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and that might only be because we haven't seen Survivor in however many months.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was always gonna probably judge the season better than like if it was a bad season, I would probably still put it a little higher on the list because it's like it'd have a little bit of nostalgia, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah, I think don't get me wrong, I think that there's mistakes with the season. I think the editing is a little touchy
It's
going.
frustrating to watch a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but there's way worse seasons than this.
Oh, 100%.
We used to see people playing. There's
They're
seen
not
seasons
playing
where
well, but they're playing.
yeah, well, at least there's seasons where people aren't even playing; they're just doing what they're told.
Redemption Island,
So,
One World,
one world, there's a lot of seasons like that. So, seeing people actually try to play for themselves is what I want to
refreshing.
see, and we have good characters. There's not like there's nobody like I dislike. I think Heather is just there.
I'm not a fan of Tiffany, but
I'm not a fan of Tiffany either, but like I don't. She's not like there's way worse characters that have been on the show,
oh,
and they've lasted
100%.
way longer.
There's
So,
nobody in the game like I'm actively rooting against.
no, so we'll see. There's some decent players. I'm interested to see how the merge is going to happen. And there's no swap. We haven't got a swap. I don't think there's going to be
I
a
actually
swap.
really like that there's no swap. I
Uh,
really like it.
I don't mind it. I think doing it every season can get repetitive and old. So maybe doing like the next 2 seasons with no swap and
I
throw
think
people off.
the last time they didn't do a swap was South Pacific,
Yeah,
but
that
that was
was
Redemption Island. So I don't think
no.
they don't do swaps in Redemption. Well, Blood versus Water they did, but I think the
I,
last like non-redemption, I think it was Samoa. Last time they didn't swap,
that was what
season 19.
yeah, 22 seasons ago, 21 seasons ago. So yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't mind that they're doing it. I feel like doing this season and maybe next season with no swap, and then swap the next season after that. After people are going to expect no swap, then you swap them. That'd be fun.
I liked it when it was like random every couple seasons like they would swap like no swap, no swap, 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 no swap, swap, no swap. Like
And
make it
God
random.
forbid,
Don't
we don't need 3, 4 swaps. We don't need that many. One is fine.
if you do one because I'm fine with no swap
Yeah. I
unless
think
unless it's a total steamroll.
Yeah, I think no swap on a 2 tribe season would be a little bit better.
Probably yeah. I wonder with this season with say Luvu wins again next week, and I don't know maybe Yasa goes back to tribal. I wonder what the merge is going to look like if there's still 12 people. Like because then Luvu makes up literally half the merge tribe.
And they have the extra vote.
Mm-hmm.
So like
But let's be honest, do you expect that six to stick together, or are they going to turn
no,
on each
I
other
feel like
like
the
that?
first round they would stick together for sure. And then I so what I would do if I was Deshaun, I would use my extra vote, secure my numbers. If it was at 12, and then we take somebody out, we vote somebody out from each tribe. Then
Turn on each other.
you turn on uh then you turn on
Erica and Nasir.
Erica there and secure maybe another spot person from somewhere else. So,
It'd be
but
interesting to see how this plays out because I think it's a double next week.
yeah, I think that it has to be. Merge is approaching. They only watch three people talk for so long because we haven't seen nothing from Luvu. So
Like this was the most we've gotten from Luvu all season.
all season, besides that first episode,
Well, yeah, I'm more counting like the last 3 episodes where it's
the
like
last three episodes, yeah, they have done nothing besides this episode. So one episode they didn't like this year. The next episode this year is great. So that was the story they've gotten so far from Luvu until this episode. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to work. We'll see. I think that the season has a lot of potential to be really good down the stretch, as long as they don't throw a bunch of advantages in our faces. Uh, I I think it's crazy that nobody's done a shot in the dark. There's been so many blindsides.
well, that's the thing. Like, if people, I'm surprised more haven't been wasted. To be honest, like
Mm-hmm.
people who think they're going home play it, and then they could have survived without it.
We haven't seen nobody do it. Sarah went home. She didn't do it. Abraham went
Brad,
home. He was blindsided. Brad was blindsided. I wouldn't count Sarah as a blindside because her name was out there, but Brad
she
had
should have
no
used
idea.
it.
She should. Sarah for sure should have used it. Abraham was blindsided. JD was
Boche was
blindsided.
blindsided.
Yep, Bocho was blindsided, and he really didn't do anything wrong. They just went with Tiffany, which still think is a bad move.
Yeah, I think Evie misplayed that one, but
Yeah, well, yeah,
we'll see how that works
because
out for her.
yeah, I just feel like Tiffany's a ticking time bomb, and she's gonna take you down with her.
I would have voted Tiffany out that episode. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, just because she's a mess. She's a mess and she's sloppy. I just wouldn't want that as my alliance member.
Like the fact, like to me, like the one thing Evie should not have done was listen to Tiffany. Like either she should have stuck to her guns, voted out Xander, or if you're gonna, if Tiffany's annoying you that much, vote her out.
Right. Because she told Deshaun that's what she was going to do is vote out Xander. So by saying that and then not doing it, it's like, why are you lying to me? So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I want
see
to hear
though.
her reasoning for that one, and her and
Yeah,
Deshaun meet up
we're
again.
missing stuff. Like you said, we're missing stuff. Paramount Plus, use it better, please. You have the resources. It's not hard to edit another 30 minutes onto the episode and put it on Paramount Plus. It's not. I just think I think they're worried about losing TV ratings, but I don't think they would because people would want to watch
I
both of
get
them.
that part of it. I feel like the ratings would go down a smidge, but like it would not to the degree where no one's going to be watching the live show.
Not if you don't release the extended version until the next day. People aren't going to wait a day if they don't have to. They'll watch the other one, then they'll watch the extended version if they want to watch it.
Mhm.
So, because they say, hey, you can watch the extended version, but not till 8 p.m. the next day
Or
on
Monday.
Paramount Plus, or Monday, or the weekend. Have it come out Friday, so you
If
have
they
the
make them
weekend.
wait longer, yeah, I don't think it would affect it at all.
Yeah, they had say Friday morning it's gonna come out the extended version, so you have the weekend to watch it. Do they have a little game this episode?
Yeah, it was at Tribal.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was like E4. I don't know what the exact phrase was, but I'm trying to remember what the rebus was.
Mm. Honestly, I haven't. I solved the first one, but that was it.
I honestly don't pay attention. I'm not really.
Into it, yeah.
Yeah.
But um, do you have anything to say about anything else to say about the episode? Didn't we miss anything?
No, I think we kind of hit on everything.
Yeah, it
It
was
was nice
all.
to finally see Luvu do something,
Yeah, I think it
even
was
though
a good episode.
to me it was a better episode than last week.
Yeah,
Because I feel like last week was just so advantage heavy and so advantage focused. Like that's not what I want to see on a Survivor episode. I want to see the camp life. I want to see the strategy talk. I want to see people making moves, even though they're dumb moves. JD.
yeah, I agree. I feel like the community on some of the pages I'm on and Facebook and stuff like that are freaking out for. They just need to
I don't pay attention.
just breathe a little and just give it some time. If you feel this way after the season, then you feel this way after the season. But it's not even halfway
Let the
over
season
yet.
play out.
Like right, like
I
we've
don't
seen a
make a
lot.
judgment on a season until at the very least merge.
Yeah, like if it's final six and you're bored, then yeah, I agree. It was probably a bad season. But you haven't hit merge yet. We haven't seen some of these characters even interact with each other.
But like, what
Um,
part of the season has been boring? To be honest.
I don't think it's been boring. I just think they're misplacing their time. I think
Well,
it's the
that I get,
editing.
but it's like to me, boring means like every episode's predictable. I have an idea going in, and it happens exactly like I think it is. To me,
Right.
that's been nothing this season.
It's been a whirlwind of like, what? How'd that happen? I feel like we're missing something.
Well, we are missing something.
Yeah.
That's why it feels like such a whirlwind, like you said.
Yeah. Like Brad, like I felt like Brad, I did feel like Brad was going to go home because the way he was edited throughout the episode. But like, did you really feel like JD was going home? I felt like it was like smoke and mirrors just to get rid of Genie. So I thought Genie was for sure going to go home.
I
I
kind of
just
said. I kind of said that JD was going. Well, they threw me off last week when JD was making that big emotional pitch at Tribal. I'm like, all right, this dude's singing a swan song right now, and then he survived.
because that was the right move to do. That's probably why you're feeling that way.
Well, it's like it was just like, oh, he's like taking it in, like, oh, this is what I wanted to do, and giving a big little monologue, and like they always do this to the person who's going home. And then when Brad went, when Brad got voted out, I'm like, what the fuck?
Right, right. It was like it's been fun to see because watching Big Brother 23 where there was like no blind sides, it's fun to see some blind sides. So,
Wonder if someone's gonna try to fight someone like Kylan did with Xavier.
oh, I hope not. But then again, I hope so. uh, but I think that's all for us today. Thank you for helping me out and joining me.
No problem.
Thank
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please give us a like, subscribe. It means a lot to us. Have a nice night. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know in the comments how you feel about it. Thanks. Bye.